Hello, friends. It's Vicki Rude with Mindful Minute, and please subscribe somewhere. I think it's over here. I'm not sure if I'm backwards, but it's in one of these corners. Subscribe. Um, I'm really trying to get to 100 subscribers so I can change my name to say Mindful Minute in it. But if not, it's no big deal. I just hope you're getting a good message that's helping you because this book, The Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo, is certainly helping me. So this is March 29th, and it's called What Keeps Us from Shedding. Often we give up our right to renewal to accommodate the anxiety of those around us. For sure, living is not easy, and living openly is both wondrous and dangerous. The fact is that shedding, no matter how useful or inevitable, always has a pain of its own. Unfortunately, there is no escaping this underside of growth. So it is not surprising that there are many feelings peculiar to human beings that prevent us from shedding what has ceased to work, including fear, pride, nostalgia, a comfort in the familiar, and a want to please those we love. Often we give up our right to renewal to accommodate the anxiety of those around us. The Melanesians of the New Hebrides contend that this is how we lost our immortality. Sir James Frazer has preserved their story. It seems at first human beings never died, but cast their skins like snakes and crabs and came out with youth renewed. But after a time, a woman, growing old, went to a stream to change her skin. According to some, she was Ulta Marama, changed skin of the world. She threw her old skin in the water and observed that as it floated, it caught on a stick. Then she went home where she had left her child, but the child refused to recognize her, crying that its mother was an old woman, not this young stranger. So to pacify the child, she went after her old skin and put it on. From that time, human beings ceased to cast their skins and died. And so, when we cease to shed what's dead in us in order to soothe the fear of others, we remain partial. When we cease to surface our most sensitive skin simply to avoid conflict with others, we remove ourselves from all that is true. When we maintain ways we've already discarded just to placate the ignorance of those we love, we lose our access to what is eternal. And the meditation activity is sit quietly and ask yourself what voices are asking you to keep your old skin and not to change. And center yourself and ask what is the cast to you for not renewing your connection with all that is eternal. And this is about, to me, codependency, and it's something that I have really dug into changing in my life. And sometimes I can do it, and sometimes I can't. And I lived my life just placating and making sure everybody else was comfortable, and that was a strength of mine, and I liked doing that. It was comfortable for me. It was a safe place, and then it started to become, I abused it a little bit, and it became not so healthy. And I really think it's interesting that the way he puts it, I mean, he's very graphic. Often we give up the right to renewal to accommodate the anxiety of those around us, and I used to think that was a huge strength of mine. And I think it's okay in small doses. However, I have learned, and I am learning, and I continue to learn and teach and share how to do that while also being true to your own inner voice and your own well-being. That's my that's important, because you can't pour from an empty cup, as you hear a lot of, and I think digging in and doing this work and learning, all the coaching tools I've learned and all the activities and the books that I've read and the spiritual guides that are out there that I've learned from. really have taught me that if you are not true to yourself, I mean, and he puts it very harshly. And so when we cease to shed what's dead in us in order to soothe the fear of others, we remain partial. So we're not fully whole our own self. And I think we are all so much better when we are whole ourselves and we can bring our whole selves to life and to each other. And I didn't used to do that. And now I work on that. And now I try to do that and with some success. Um, and it took some work. You know, you have to go through the garbage and get rid of it and let it go. Let that invisible backpack go and let other people's, like, it's not our job to make other people feel unscared. It's not our job to make other people feel less anxiety. It's their job, just like it's our job to make ourselves feel less scared. And it's our job to do that work to make us feel less anxiety. We can't do it for anybody else, even though no matter how hard we try. So, in that story about the woman and the kid, right? When she came back, and that's not my mom. My mom is an old woman who's this young stranger, and when we renew ourselves, sometimes it's hard for people that we've been a certain way with. You know, when you're a certain when you have a certain dynamic in a family and a group of friends and a work team, and you change and you start to speak up, it's very weird for other people, and they don't know how to react because they're used to you playing a certain role. So when you do speak up, it can be very, very uncomfortable. That's what I've experienced, at least. And but I feel a whole lot better when I do it. I feel like I have more integrity within myself. So I don't know. That's what I got out of that. I hope you subscribe. I hope you come back. I hope this helps. This book is amazing. I highly recommend it. It has a meditation and a reading every day, and his analogies and Mark Nepo, the way he writes is just fantastic. So I highly recommend it. And I will be back again tomorrow wearing the same thing.